Welcome, ladies and gents, to the Reef Podcast 2024 edition. I'm your host, Luis IPA, joined here by the good old man, Mr. Kratos himself. And we got a surprise person here that you guys never seen in camera, or have you? How you guys doing? Welcome in.
Welcome in, Sharky. How you been?
Man, doing good, doing good. Man, 4 years of the making with this podcast, man.
I know, dude.
I feel like it's been only a year. Like it basically like it just keeps cycling the same year over and over again, you know? Because I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's just mind blowing to me that we actually have 4 years here on the podcast. It's insane. Like I'm truly blessed of how much it has evolved from just being a podcast scene with no professional microphones, no cameras, no nothing, just headphones and a microphone from the headphone, and that's it. That's all we had back then. And of course we were nervous as shit to literally talk on it because it was our first podcast. But now basically we're so comfortable, so so chill about it. It's like such a walk in the park now.
Oh yeah, man. And normally my quality, I will admit, is a lot better. I'm not at home right now, but I'm still here, as always, enjoying hanging out with you guys.
And the best part about it is that you have a laptop, so anywhere you are, you can always be like, "Hey, I'll be there, no matter what."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what happened today too. Just hooked it up. If I don't have my laptop, I have my iPad. I have I'm getting a new phone that'll be in a few days. I will always have something with me.
Right. Okay, so we actually want to introduce our newest member of the staff here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Emperor Arma.
Hello. How you guys doing?
And
I've been good, brother.
so in case you guys want to know what Emperor's role will be, sorry, this way. He's actually going to be our question keeper. He's actually going to be keeping up with questions that you guys have for the podcast when we actually have future guests come up here, or when we have our new segment that we're going to talk about a little later today. And basically, just keep track of everybody asking things. And that way, he actually has them ready. So that way he asks us the question, or he can ask the guest himself. So that way the guest actually says like, "Oh, okay, well, thank you for the question, Emperor Arma." And then the guest will answer the question that they had. And we figured we'd give this opportunity to a person because it's a lot to handle for me and Nightmare to having to come up with our questions and then basically keep track of you guys chatting on the chat box and then losing track of who asked what. And it's a little difficult because we're engaging with the guests that we have. So that's actually an easier way for us to communicate, and a nice thing to do to our buddy here, because he's actually never been in the podcast, and we talked about it last night and we talked about it this morning, and he was a little nervous, but I told him, dude, everybody goes through that. I mean, it's just like basically like you're streaming, except that it's actually in a podcast version.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let me, if you guys, you, Emperor, or you, Nightmare, have questions about the beginning of the podcast, anything you guys have to ask, by all means, go ahead and ask. So I'm ready for questions from you.
I actually do have a question for you, Louis. I had one set up.
Oh, boy.
I had a few of them set up, actually.
Hey, by all means, I'm ready for them.
First question I have, man. What made you go from the off-camera, just kind of talk show, radio show kind of feel to all of us now being on camera? What was your thought with that?
All right, so that's actually a good question, Nightmare. So we always wanted to do radio vocals only, but we figured that having radio vocals only, people can see our face reactions of when we ask a question, and they can't see the guests that we have, because most people, yeah, they see that we're interviewing somebody, but some people say, "Oh, you're full of shit, you're not getting that guy, you're not getting this person." So this is a way that I was like, okay, you don't believe me? Well, here, I got proof here that I got these guys here talking to me in person. And then, like, it actually brings life to the podcast. Like, it brings that feel like, oh my gosh, they're actually our co-hosts and they're actually hanging out and talking to each other. So that's the main reason why we decided to go cameras, because we wanted to break the silence from people that didn't believe us at first, and now like they actually see like, oh, these are actually legitimate podcast co-hosts and hosts. So it's a way to like, so they can see and be like, oh my gosh, they're laughing, they're having a good time. It's not all serious, because that's the main objective for the podcast, is to like promote the guests that we have, and also make sure our viewers and listeners out there are having a fun time listening to it, and actually completely like, relaxing and be like, oh, this is a chill podcast, it's nothing serious. And then of course we never bring politics, religion, or any of that sort of stuff, because why would you want to talk about that when you're trying to have fun,
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
Emperor, you got any questions?
I got a question from Enforce Viper saying, at Louis, what inspired you to start this podcast?
All right, thanks for the question, Emperor and Viper. To answer your question, what really inspired me to start this podcast was me and my first ever co-host, Thomas Govins. Shout out to you. We basically were brainstorming. We're like, dude, what can we do that's so unique to actually bring people together, people to hang out, people to have fun? I mean, what's like so good here? Like, what can we do? And we figured like all of a sudden, like, me and Thomas Govins both at the same time say like, hey, how about we interview people? And we both looked at each other. I mean, we didn't look at each other, but I mean, we could, like, when we talk to each other, almost like we're looking at each other. We're like, that's actually a good idea. Not that many people do interviews to content creators, to like, people, musicians and everything. And as soon as I said that, Thomas Govins was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's try this out and see how it works. So at first, I kid you not, the podcast was supposed to start at the beginning of January 2020. But because of work complications with me and him, like, back and forth, we couldn't decide a date. And I was like, well, I'm always off on Sundays. And he's like, dude, me too. I'm always off on Sundays. I was like, okay, well, how about we start like, the podcast and do it on a Sunday? He's like, that's perfect. What Sunday you're thinking? I was like, well, I mean, I was thinking like towards the middle of the month or something. Like, he's like, how about the end of the month? I was like, that's great. Let's do it then. So we basically did it on January 26th. And basically, like, we uploaded 3 days later, and it was thanks to my old editor back then by the name of Wild Canadian. Shout out to you. He basically helped us out, like, with having the little intro that showed my logo. And I said, because back then my podcast was under my Twitch name. It was actually for a while on my Twitch name, because I wanted to like, have it here. I never thought about having its own channel until like, no, not, I think it's like a year ago or so that we started doing it here. So basically, like, I was like, oh, you know what? I think it's time that we actually branch out and make it its own channel, because I mean, it's its own content. It's not like, my content. It's actually a separate channel that basically, like, people can come in, hang out, and ask questions and everything. Whew.
All right. Louis, another
Yes.
question for you here.
Gotcha.
You can answer this one too, Emperor. Going forward with this being our 4-year anniversary for the podcast, I know what goals I have in plan for the next year. We've talked about it quite a few times. What's your goals, Louis?
My, like, for the podcast wise or streaming wise?
Yeah, just for the podcast.
Podcast wise, I really want the podcast to get the name and logo trademark or copyrighted, so that way we can move forward and actually have it on Sirius XM, because that's the only stepping stone that we have before we put it on Sirius XM. They want us to have a verified logo and a verified name, so that way we can go through like the legal documents on how to have it there and start have my own radio channel on the podcast. Most of the goals that I had in the podcast in the beginning have been accomplished. Like, I mean, have a community that basically backs you on the podcast and basically supports you on this is just mind blowing. That's like
Emperor, any angles you want to see happen with the podcast?
Uh, there's a lot actually. One, I will love to see this podcast grow bigger and bigger, to have really awesome people come in. You guys interview them, and I can ask some questions. The chat can ask some questions. And that's really about it right now.
awesome.
And like I said,
what about
I've
you,
got
Nightmare?
mine.
Yeah, what you got?
I want to actually spread from just content creators on Twitch to bringing in like more outside of Twitch,
Mhm.
musicians, stuff like that, other people to kind of grow outside of just the content creator to having just an interview podcast.
Mhm. I mean, we do technically have like, a couple of people lined up that are going to be musicians. A couple of people are going to be like, lined up like, from different backgrounds. Like we have game developers. Like last year, we had a couple of game developers,
Yep.
which was amazing. And we have voice actors. I mean, it varies. It just depends on who's available and who's like, who has time to actually be part of it. And that's the main reason why I love this, because I've been doing it for so long that when I ask people about it, they're like, "Oh yeah, I heard about your podcast," or the fact that you're actually doing it in an interview format and you're promoting what I'm doing, it
Mhm.
makes me interested, because not you're basically interviewing me, but at the same time you're promoting what I have to bring to the table, and
Right.
that's what people really like. All right, so what you got? I know you said you had a couple of questions, so.
Oh, I've got quite a few lined up. So you have had quite a good handful of co-hosts, myself included, quite a few people.
Mhm.
What was the biggest reason for why a co-host would stay and why a co-host would leave? Like, what were you looking for
Okay,
in a co-host?
so one thing I always look for, like the number one thing I always look in co-hosts, is responsibility. You have to have responsibility to show up on time on the podcast. And like, if you're actually not going to show up to the podcast, give me a good reason on why you couldn't show up. But just don't, I mean, if you do it last minute because of an emergency, I completely understand that. But if you basically out of nowhere just don't show up, don't say anything. Like even when I remind you, like, hey, letting you know the podcast is coming up and everything, and you don't say any word, like even after you get off work or anything, you don't say anything, I'm gonna be worried sick, because I'll be like, hey, where are you at? Like I don't know where you at. And basically, like, I want people to have punctuality. I want people to like actually help me come up with questions, so that way I don't just basically come up with the questions and then my co-host basically just bounces back and says something similar to what I asked. Like I want my co-host to actually be unique, so that way like the guest doesn't feel bored and be like, okay, he's asking almost something similar to hit what he asked. So I don't think I think this is an okay podcast, but it's not like a unique one, if that makes any sense. So
Right.
so I always want like, things like that. And then of course have fun with this. Like, don't think like, hey, Lewis is a serious person, he's gonna take this serious. No, I mean, of course I'm gonna take it a little serious, because I mean it's professional. You have to be professional with podcasts. But I mean, I want you to have fun. I want you to actually enjoy yourself. Like if we are able to get a person for Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't want us to go like, oh my god, it's him. Like I don't want us to go like all fanboy and fangirl or anything. I want us to actually be professional, because I mean we're interviewing somebody of that big, and or like, don't be like, what's the word I'm trying to find? Don't be, not trying to be mean with this, but try not to be immature when it comes to interviewing people,
Right.
because
Yeah.
these people, I mean, yeah, they're big, they're famous and everything, but they're used to seeing people like fanboy over them or fangirl over them. And if you actually act professional and everything, it'll actually make them want to come back. I'm gonna give you an example. So I've interviewed Frank Woods, the original Black Ops voice actor. I've interviewed him twice already on this podcast, and not too long ago, I talked to him on his it's called Sarge's Corner or whatever. And I went up to him. I started chatting there, and out of nowhere, without me even asking, he said, "Hey, Reef Podcast, I would like to be part of it again this year. Let's hit up on February 1st so we can actually work out the details." Straight up, just asked like, "Hey,
Right.
I'm down to get interviewed again." Because why? Because he saw that one, we were funny, which is like, he's a funny guy. But two, he saw how professional we were about it. So there's a boundary between being professional and being funny. You can be funny, you can be excited that you're meeting like you're like an amazing voice actor or actor or musician or whatever. But I mean, also be professional about it, because you only have a certain amount of time with those people because they're busy all the time. So that's what I basically look for a co-host. I want punctuality, matureness, and basically have fun. Like most important, find fun, but please be punctual when it comes to like the podcast.
Emperor, any other questions you got? Or
I got a question for both y'all. Who's your guys' dream person to interview?
Oof.
Oh man,
that's actually a good one. Because there's so many people.
Louis, you want to go first on this? Because I actually have my answer already.
If you have yours, I definitely think you should, because I have so many.
So we've got two. One is Robert Englund. If we can get him, that'd be amazing. The other one is Johnny Depp. If we can get Johnny Depp on here, that'd be amazing too.
Mm-hmm. For me, I mean, out of all the people that I would like to interview, I would actually like to interview Ryan Reynolds. I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan.
I could see him coming on here in the Deadpool costume.
Oh God, I'll be like, if you're
especially right now.
if we were to interview him, I would tell him, please come in your Deadpool costume if you can. That'd be amazing. Because that dude is hilarious. He's funny. Another person I would like to interview, honestly, is what's his name? Adam Sandler.
Oh, I mean, man.
Adam Sandler would be hilarious to talk to here, just because how funny he is and everything.
And he's down to earth too.
That's the main reason why it takes me a little while to find people, is because I try not to find the assholes. I try to find the people that are chill, down to earth, like not like over crazy or anything like that. I always try to find the most calm people. I try not to like get the see, we got Jimpix here mentioning Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey would be pretty interesting, actually. But I always try to look up like their social media, what they've been going through and everything. And then I'm like, okay, this person sounds like a good person. Let me send them an email and see if they're interested. Okay, this person seems like a asshole, then I'm not going to talk to you, Oh, another person that I wish was still around in our planet is good old Ray Liotta. I would have loved to interview Ray Liotta.
Lance Reddick would have been another good one too.
Gotcha. All right. Keep them coming. I got questions to answer.
Anything else, Emperor?
None I can think right now.
Good question, by the way, Emperor. That was really good.
Oh yeah, great question. So we've talked about this off stream quite a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, and Nicky have finally agreed that this year it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Who is one person you want to try to interview at TwitchCon this year?
Oof. If I had to think about it, I'll probably try to interview just about anybody, because it doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are as a content creator. As long as you get time to get interviewed, hey, we're happy with that. And I'm honestly thinking about bringing like a little mic. But at the same time, Nicky said that they have a booth. So hopefully we get one. Also, that reminds me, shout out to Nicky. He's in China right now.
Oh yeah.
He's in vacation.
Huge shout out to Nicky. He reached out to me, I think like 3 or 4 days ago, like about a week ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And was like, hey man, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huge shout out to him, man.
Shout out to the backbone of the Reef podcast, man. He's the one that basically stays behind cameras and basically edits the whole podcast. We wish he was here on camera with us, but we'll try to get him. I'll be like, dude, you need to be present for the 5th year anniversary. Like, there's no questions. You have to be here for that. But I mean,
we'll twist his arm, make him join us.
but I mean, I hope, like, he has a good vacation, and we really can't wait for him to come back, because we adore him to death. And the fact that we have him for quite a while, then I'm actually excited to, like, actually be with him, because I mean, every time, like, I tell him, like, hey, do this in the podcast, do this in the, like, he literally sits down with me after hours and literally, like, goes frame by frame on the podcast, like, okay, this needs this needs that. Like, he gets, like, okay, after this podcast, when I send it to him, he's gonna go ahead and tell me, like, okay, for the next one, tell Emperor to raise his mic, tell Nightmare to lower his mic. Like, he'll give me feedback right there.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I like. And that's when I basically meet with y'all. I call it pre-shifts. I meet with y'all and tell you, like, hey, pick up your mic a little bit, because Nicky said from the last one that you basically had your mic lower. So I mean, shout out to him. Also, I want to give a big shout out to this person. I know he's watching. I know he's lurking. He's a family man. But shout out to Payaso Max 420 for making amazing panels for us. Amazing offline banner. So thank you, Max, for what you did.
Amazing artwork. Amazing job, Max. Absolutely love it, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah. Everybody's like, yeah. He's just like, the serious face, like, thank you.
All right, so Emperor, I'm gonna let you go ahead and ask the question popped up in chat there.
Yeah, Enforce Viper said, so besides Frank Woods, Nightmare, who would you say is one of the best guests you guys had on the show?
Oh, he asked you, Nightmare, not me.
Pat. Hands down, Pat.
Oh,
when we did the Master's Pupil episode.
That was mind blowing. That was amazing. Like, just to talk to him, and he's all the way from Australia, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the fact, Viper, that this guy, he basically made his game by painting it. Like, when do you see that? Like, nowadays, it's so rare to see that. And then, like, you see videos of him on the making of the game, and it was just mind blowing. I was like, dude, I need to have this guy. Right. And as soon as he agreed to be part of it, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. I'm actually excited for that. But
from what I see, it was meant for both of us, Louis. So you too.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I've talked to then.
Yep.
All right. So we actually want to let our listeners know that we actually do have an amazing giveaway happening here. So please stay around, because we're gonna add your names to our handy dandy Twitch little hat here. We're gonna add your names here, and we're gonna take names one by one, and then the last one that gets left on the hat will actually win a one-of-a-kind Reef Podcast coffee mug. And I'm about to show it on the screen right now. That's what it looks like, ladies and gents. So you have a chance to win this one-of-a-kind coffee mug from the Reef Podcast. That it's only gonna be one printed. Whoever wins this will have this one printed coffee mug. Trust me, my co-host down here and my question keeper right here wanted to get it so bad. I was like, dude, sorry, it's only one of a kind. Okay, so basically, like, just get one. Like, you get that one, and then hold on to it, because if you ever ran into us at TwitchCon or VidCon or whatever convention you see us at, hey, can you sign this for me? We can sign it for you. Nightmare, Emperor, myself, NickyD. If you get all 4 signatures there, you'll have one piece of memorabilia that's gonna always be, like, it's only gonna be one. There's no more. Trust me, I wanted to get one, but nope. I was like, I want one amazing listener to win this. So, I just read what Viper said.
I just seen it too. Like, we all just started laughing. I'm sorry, guys.
So we want to give a personal big shout out to the backbone of streaming, Mr. Sneaky Viper.
Oh yeah, gotta give Viper a shout out,
because this guy comes to my stream as a moderator. and gives a shout out to every single person that comes in. I don't even have to ask, ladies and gents. He literally comes in and says, "Hey, how's it going?" He does a little walk on, which is like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then he starts giving shout outs to people. And he's like, "Hey, anybody else miss a shout out?" So shout out to you. Shout out to Eve K9 Telly for being my second moderator on my channel. Shout out to Payaso Max as well for being a moderator of the podcast. And shout out to all of you listeners for listening to us out there, because Amazon Music has proven to myself to be the most downloaded source for a podcast. Did you know? I didn't tell you guys this at all. Emperor Man Chat and Nightmare. Big Will's interview that we had just hit over 2,000 downloads on Amazon Music.
It did hit over 2,000. I know it was getting close.
It was at 1,500, but now it basically broke over 2,000 downloads.
Nice.
And a lot of them are breaking like records on Amazon Music. So Amazon Music has been tremendously amazing for us. So, all right. What other questions do you have, sir?
All right. This one's going to get Louis going here. So I had an idea that I wanted to talk to you about, and I kind of waited to do this because it's going to kind of put you on the spot. What would you say? Not anytime soon, but eventually, once the podcast grows, doing like a convention for the podcast, doing like a Reef Con or something like that.
The Reef Con is a possibility, but we have to actually have a huge community.
Yeah, it'd have to be
like a huge community.
Have to be something we'd have to have definite growth and stuff. But
it will be. I'll be down to do it. I mean, especially if it's actually like, you know, somewhere like around the middle. Like if we actually do it in Louisiana, I'm not trying like just to say like, hey, do it in my state, but it's just that if it's Louisiana, not only is it perfect for me, but I mean, it's in the middle of everything.
Oh yeah,
in the middle
like
of
do
everything.
It somewhere where it's accessible to everybody. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then that basically like that way we can all do like a meet and greet, meet each other, and like, you know, handshakes, and then give shirts, coffee mugs, whatever they want, beanies. I need to start finding out how to do beanies exactly, because I mean it's hard for me to do in Stream Elements. I swear to God, I'll get lost with that.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, it is something I looked at, and I've been looking at for the last month on top of everything else I've been doing with the, you know, the designing the business cards, setting everything up. I looked into that as well, like what our options are for that, and that was something I was like, oh, I've got to wait till the anniversary podcast and ask this.
Yeah.
If he thought, you know, that would be an eventual goal as well.
Absolutely. So Jimpex here says spring tea would be a good one. Spring tea, Teespring is actually good, Jimpex, but it takes forever to ship. And I've had a little bit of bad experiences with them. I mean, I ordered a shirt from my channel a long time ago, and it took almost a month for it to come in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to find some way to do jerseys for the podcast as well, so that way you guys can rock a jersey that says, like, you know, that you can put your name on it. Eventually all those things are gonna work out. It's just that it's so much like right now it's actually a lot on my plate with everything, and that's why I'm trying to have a little staff for the Reef podcast, so that way everybody knows what to do, everybody does this, like this person does this but eventually we're gonna have a social media manager, and that will help a lot, because right now the podcast is not as present on social media, but I mean it does have a Twitter, but I mean it's just so hard to keep up with both my personal Twitter and the Reef podcast Twitter. It's like so much, but I mean not only that, but then look up guests that we have coming up. So much stuff going on, it's ridiculous. And then of course I got my job to worry about, I got TwitchCon to worry about every year. I mean there's so many things, it's ridiculous. All right, so Emperor, you have any questions you want to ask? I know you just joined recently, so you probably have a couple of questions.
Are you guys planning to go to TwitchCon this year?
Yes. 100% confirmed. Me, Kratos here, and our editor NickyD are gonna be in San Diego the week of TwitchCon. So you guys are welcome to come say hi to us. never know. I mean, we'll get a picture of y'all and be like, hey, here we are taking a picture of y'all and like, hanging out with y'all and like more than likely, like, we'll try to get an interview with y'all too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that'll be amazing to do. I mean, eventually we would like to get Emperor to come as well. So that way we have like the whole staff there.
Oh, we're dragging him this year. He's coming this year.
We're gonna put him on Snake's little cardboard box and basically be like, hey, we're putting you here. What's up? I know you did.
Look, all I've got to say is this: it is literally ending 4 days before my birthday. We are all hanging out for my birthday while we're at TwitchCon.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be there from Thursday to Monday, so we'll definitely celebrate.
I'm looking at the same.
We're definitely gonna be celebrating your birthday more than likely that Thursday, because I mean, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the convention, and let me tell you, I mean, I was gonna tell you all my experience. So last year, we were all supposed to party on the weekend. The party started on Thursday. Literally, me, ATL, NickyD, Ramen, Big Bill, everybody, all of us that met there, we all went have a few drinks, and let's just say it was a night to remember. Like, I mean, literally just craziness, like, everything. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is not the after party. This is the party. Like, this is like, what party is like. And literally woke up the next day with a headache like hell. I was like, man, and now we have to go to convention. Oh my goodness. But luckily enough, we were able to, like, make
y'all
it.
Went to sleep.
Oh no, we went to sleep, but I mean, literally, we were like walking zombies all over the convention. We're like, dude, we're so drained from this. But
all I got to say is, if y'all think we're throwing a party and y'all sleep in time.
No, I mean, we sleep, but I mean, I barely sleep. When it comes to conventions, I barely sleep because I just can't contain myself. I'm just like really excited to go and check it out. All right, we're actually gonna go to our first commercial break, guys. So hang tight. Hope you guys stay tuned. We'll be announcing the winner of the giveaway shortly. So please just say the word Reef on the channel and you'll be able to enter. So yeah, we'll be right back in a few.
And it's free.
I would recommend Grammarly if you're a student.
My family,
my peers, my colleagues. It's like having your own personal proofreader for free.
Download Grammarly for free at Grammarly.com.
All right, we are back, ladies and gents. How you guys like that? We got our actual ad.
I love it.
It's awesome. So we got Viper that entered. We got Jimpex that entered. We got Liberty Twitcher, first time chatter. Welcome in. How you doing? And I'm gonna start writing names down while Emperor, you can ask a couple questions about the podcast to Nightmare while I do this.
Nightmare.
What's up?
What Twitch streamer would you love to have on the podcast to interview?
Cynical for sure. The ones that I wanted to have, all we've got to do is get the dates for them, and they've already agreed to be on. Cynical is the other one that I would love to have on here.
Nice. Music artist as well.
Music artist, actually, like I said, there's a couple that I had. I'm actually really good friends with them. Pound Down Productions. I've known them for longer than I've known Louis at this point. Look, man, I still have your mug sitting on my desk where it's able to be picked up by camera
For my old logo, huh?
from your old logo back when it was your new logo.
Yeah. Viper says me to interview him. Nightmare.
Oh yeah, we gotta get
We
Viper on.
We
here
have to
too.
interview him. We have to interview
Oh,
Viper here.
That is a set. We're doing that this year.
Yeah.
We've got to.
We just have to figure out a Sunday that we can get you, Viper. So let me. I'll give you the. You need a laptop and a camera. Don't you have like a camera?
Use a phone. Use a phone.
I thought he actually uses a camera for his thing.
I don't know if I've seen him on camera.
I've seen him on camera when he's on Discord. We do it through Discord, Viper.
Yeah.
All right, keep the questions coming, guys. You can ask Emperor questions too, because I mean, it could be like almost like a you're talking to him.
Okay.
So Emperor, with you being one of the dose ones, who would you like to see come on?
Ooh, that's a good question. If I had to say, I would love for what's his name? John Wick. What's his real name? How you say it?
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, dude, that's a good one.
I would love for you guys to interview him.
Good old Keanu.
You know,
Yeah.
I think he does have a way for us to reach out to him.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to try that.
Sorry.
I was gonna say if you can
No,
get
you're good.
if you can get him, that'll be amazing.
Oh, I know.
I'm not kidding you. I'll literally start going like, "You are a god among gods, sir." No, I'm
Look,
joking.
I'm Kratos. I'm the one that destroys them.
Speaking of destroys, that just reminds me. We might get Beerus from Dragon Ball Super come on the podcast.
The voice actor
Jason
for
Douglas.
Beerus.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
He's gonna get back to me soon, but this April I'm actually gonna meet the boys of Aku from Samurai Jack at the convention I'm commentating at. Greg, his name is Greg something, I think it is.
Yeah, Greg. I can't remember, but
yeah,
I know it's Greg something.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted the business cards as soon as possible, so I can give him one.
Yeah,
and like be like, hey, we want to interview you, bro, because you're the voice of Aku. You had to get interviewed.
Look, I am coming to the Cincinnati convention where Robert England is supposed to be. I am going to do everything I can to get that man on the spot.
Dude, you can just
fully admit, man.
What you can do is you can mention that the host actually emailed his email and he got a response from the agent and they were gonna get back to him or whatever. And then after that, just mention to him what we do and everything, and here's my card. If you're interested, it'd be great to interview you and promote whatever events you have coming up. Be professional. Sure,
obviously.
I'm sure, he'll be like, well, I'll do it.
Once I get a moment and not, nearly faint from meeting the man, yes.
There is some people that are not presently here that I do want to actually give a chance at the one-of-a-kind coffee mug. And that's somebody by the name of Agua Mist. Agua Mist.
Yeah, Agua's a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
She definitely deserves a chance. So I've got the ultimate question for you, Emperor.
Oh boy.
Okay.
How does it feel finally doing a face reveal on the podcast?
That's a good one.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. But, okay, here's a follow-up question. You don't feel as nervous anymore, right?
No. I actually feel comfortable.
Yeah, because that's what we try to do.
Oh, hold on, I gotta answer this. Viper, this has been a whole thing for literally 2 or 3 months at this point that I have told this man I will get him to do a face reveal on the podcast. It would happen.
Mm-hmm. And it
He
did.
did.
It did.
Constantly.
And
just
lo and
begging
behold,
me.
the man is here.
Mhm.
Oh, another person I'm adding to the list of people is the House of Sin.
Yeah.
All right. So you got those people. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we got here lined up for y'all. I'm going through the script right here on my computer, on my little handy dandy little screen. So we're actually going to show you guys a little glimpse of the people that we're actually going to be interviewing this year. Keep in mind that we don't have all of them 100% confirmed. Like the ones that are showing are 100% confirmed. Some of them have not 100% confirmed, so I didn't put them on the slideshow. So please sit back, relax, enjoy this little slideshow that we came up with. And also, we have 2 shout outs, or should I say cameos, from previous co-hosts that were here as a part of the Reef podcast before. And they did a little video for us. So hope you enjoy.
Lewis, what's up, my man? Happy 4-year anniversary to you and the Reef podcast. I've had the pleasure of being on your show. I want to say 2, maybe 3 times, maybe more. And every single time that I've been able to be on your show, I have had an absolute blast. Not just with you, someone who I personally have known for many, many years, but you as a podcast host, as a person who interviewing other people, as a person coming up with questions, not just the mundane cliche things that we would probably ask a host on a podcast, but you also come up with some really creative and some silly questions that you ask the guests, and it's been a joy every single time. I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy that you've stuck to your guns with your shows and your podcast and your content. I've seen your rise to power, if you will. I've seen you start from zero, like every one of us did, and you have made yourself a amazing community. With an amazing podcast that people love to consume, and not only consume, but people love to be a part of. So for 2024 and going forward, I wish you nothing but the best, nothing but luck, good luck, best wishes. I know you're going to continue to kick butt. So as a good pal of ours once said, a long time ago, his name by the name of Duke Nukem, he said, he's here to chew gum and kick butt, but you're all out of gum. So you've got only one option left, buddy. Good luck.
Hey everyone, name's Thomas. Got the pleasure, the honor, the luxury of starting this whole little project off with your boy Luis here. Ignore that song. I just wanted to, it's been so proud of you. It's amazing to see how far you've come along and stuck with it, all the amazing people you've got to meet, all the conversations, and it's super great just, knowing that you're still keeping pushing forward. Nothing but love and respect and best of luck and vibes to moving forward. And here's to a whole another year of being great at what you do, my dude. Love you guys, and happy trails. Good luck. Be patient. Be happy. Talk to you later.
All right. That's where the two shout outs. The two shout outs, and then the lineup that we have of people coming up this year. My goodness, man. I'm just blessed, dude, to have known so many amazing co-hosts. I mean, there's been Raph, Frank, you, Nightmare, Asher, so many previous
LSAT.
LSAT, everybody. I mean, just in general, man. Like everybody that has contributed to the Reef podcast is always engraved in my heart. Just because all you guys are simply amazing for taking the time to actually be part of this and be part of this journey together with me. And I think from what I said last year, I really mean it. I think Nightmare is gonna be my eternal co-host until we decide to shut down doors here on the Reef podcast. And hopefully Emperor will decide to stay and be our question keeper for a while too. We shall see. We wanted to congratulate him on passing the test because, in case you guys didn't know, he was actually on trial today to see, like, if he was gonna make it. So, congratulations, Emperor, on officially becoming part of the podcast.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Oh, of course, brother. You earned it. Great job, man.
You did awesome, and we want to thank everybody that actually tuned in today. So, guys, I think it's time to give away this amazing coffee mug. So, as you can see, I got the names here. You can see it. You can barely see it. Woohoo! They all go here. And I'm gonna close the hat. Then move it around. Who knows who's gonna be first to get withdrawn from the giveaway? I know Nightmare's name or Emperor's name is not here, so you don't have to worry about that. All right. Look,
neither is a little Nightmare for anybody who thinks that this is unfair.
All right. So first name eliminated. Look, I'm not even looking. I'm looking at you all right now. All right. I just got it. First name eliminated is Liberty Twitcher. I'm sorry. You were the first time chatter here. I'm so sorry you were not able to win the coffee mug, but don't be discouraged. Feel free to follow the podcast. We'll be doing lots of giveaways this year. I plan on doing a lot of giveaways this year for you guys with different shirts. I have different things for the podcast. So definitely stay around. You'll be one winner. I gotta guarantee that you are gonna win one of these days. All right. Pull another name from the hat. All right, moving around the papers, and voila, get the next name. Next person is the House of Sims.
No, not Sims.
Damn, House of Sims got eliminated. All right, now we actually gotta see over here who's next gonna be eliminated. All right. Next name is Jimpix. I'm sorry, Jimpix. You've been eliminated. All right. There's only 3 names left on this hat. 3 names on this hat. All right. Who is this person going to be? Agua Mist. You've been eliminated.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Never mind. There's 2 names. So the 2 names, from what I remember, is Enforced Viper and Max. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god.
Who's eliminated?
Enforced Viper has been
Oh,
eliminated.
man.
So Max won the giveaway. But he told me yesterday that since I actually gifted him a Reef Podcast space coffee mug a while back, he said I could give it to somebody. So we have to do a vote here, guys. Who do you think should get that coffee mug? The one of a kind coffee mug.
Wart potato.
Smoked potato.
Oh my goodness.
Nah, gotta give it to Viper. Gotta give it to
Yeah,
Viper. All
Viper.
seriousness.
All right, Viper, are you here, Mr. Sneaky Viper? Please present yourself on the podcast. So
We have response.
Yep.
Mhm.
So you have won yourself this amazing one of a kind coffee mag that will be shipping shortly. There's only gonna be one Viper, so take care of it. Don't break it out of rage. Don't do it. Don't do anything that breaks it, because there's only gonna be one coffee mug here, guys. This is the only one that's gonna be printed. After this coffee mug, there's no more of its kind. As you can see, it has the ocean background, has everything. So you, my friend Viper, have won the one of a kind coffee mug. Well deserved, well deserved. So, yeah, guys, we have a big lineup of guests coming up. I saw that we just had a follow from another podcast, which is amazing. Shout out to the podcast that followed. Thank you so much. By the name of Boss Biz Podcast. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. And Viper, I already know your details and everything, so I'll be going over here with Kratos over here, working out the deets, and then as soon as it ships, I'll text you and be like, hey, it's ready. You can be on the lookout for it. But shout outs to everybody, guys, for being so amazing and being part of this podcast, because we have a big lineup, and we're actually gonna start, I believe, the first week of February. Let me see. We got here. Yeah, so February 4th, we're gonna be interviewing an indie game company by the name of Rogue Labyrinth. That's the name of the game, but we're gonna be interviewing them, and that interview is gonna take place at 6 p.m. Eastern on February 4th. So mark down your calendars, guys. February 4th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time, Texas time. We're gonna be interviewing the people that made Rogue Labyrinth. All right, so Viper does have a question. So Emperor is gonna get ready to write this down for you, Viper. So go ahead and ask the question, and Emperor will address it to me. And if you have any more questions, Nightmare, by all means.
Yep. Give me 1 second here. Just make sure I save that in my calendar myself, so that way I didn't forget.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send you all the dates for all the rest of the lineup.
Yep.
That way you have some.
So I do have this question.
What's up?
If I can pull this off, I have not tried yet. How would you feel having one of the wrestlers that streams on Twitch coming in as a person we interview for the Reef?
I'll be down. If it is it a WWE wrestler?
I can do either WWE or AEW. There's a few AEW ones that I know, and a couple TNA ones that I know.
We can definitely work it out, because we have a couple of slots that opened up. So definitely, that's something we can have in our special Reef podcast meetings. Okay.
Right. I think he said.
Now the better question: Could Emperor handle it?
Right. All right. So I want to say the first one he sent is now Louis had gifted me a hoodie and a mug. Me being me, and being the friend he is.
Oh, because Viper here gifted me for Christmas the special edition of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So as a thank you for him for doing that, I basically getting him a hoodie and a coffee mug with a space background to Viper, because I reserved one before it actually sold out for the coffee mug. So I'm basically shipping those things. So he's gonna have those two things and the one of a kind Reef podcast coffee mug. So he's gonna have 3 podcast things.
I know, right?
And the second question: who was eliminated before me? Because I feel like that person deserves to have this one-time coffee mug.
Who was it? Do you guys remember?
Agua.
I think it was Mac. Was it Agua?
Agua. Max was the one that won it.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Viper
Okay, so
was
Jim
eliminated.
pick says
before he was
Agua.
Agua.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna ask you the who wants to be a millionaire question. Final answer, Viper? Is that your final answer? Do you want to give it away to Agua, one of a kind coffee mug? That's your final answer. And hello, Little Nightmare. Welcome in.
What's up, kiddo?
All right. Viper says that he confirms it, so Agua officially wins it. That's awesome. And we have a question come up, I think.
Okay, from Little Nightmare. If you had to choose between one or the other, would it be coffee mug or hoodies?
Like which one we'd prefer, or which one Viper would prefer?
That's a good question because I think he's talking to us. Because I mean, Viper already said that he has the hoodie and stuff. But I mean, for me personally, I wouldn't.
Okay, so for us,
yeah, for us.
Okay, so for me personally, I would like a coffee mug. I like collecting coffee mugs.
For collectible wise, coffee mugs. But if it's something I'd use, definitely the hoodie.
I gotta go with hoodie.
What? So you can keep your cuddlies so warm?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we're about to wrap this episode up, guys. I mean, we hit our marker that we had to hit. Thank you so much for being part of the podcast for 4 years. I know it's been an amazing journey so far. We hit over 100 followers. We're going to do another giveaway really soon. Probably around the summertime. It's going to be another giveaway that we're going to run over here. And
could be sooner. Who knows?
Never know. I mean, we might throw it out there and be like, hey, surprise, motherfuckers. There's a giveaway here. So thank you again, everybody, for 4 years. You guys have been amazing listeners. And to everybody that's not part of the live segment, don't forget that later on, NickyD will be uploading it directly to YouTube and all the platforms that you see on bottom left. All those platforms get uploaded instantly thanks to Buzzsprout. And thanks to you guys for making this podcast possible. Because if it wasn't for you guys, the listeners, the viewers, this podcast would never have happened. And I hope you guys keep reminding yourself how amazing you are. And if you have any guest suggestions, by all means, follow the Reef Podcast Twitter. And always do @ and the Reef Podcast and be like, hey, how would you like to interview this person? I know this person. We'll take it in consideration. We'll talk it out and see if we can get them. But more than likely we will, because we like to interview people. Even if you have 2 followers, 1 follower, 0 followers, we don't care. I mean, we love to talk to people. That's our specialty here. So on behalf of me, Louis IPA, Emperor, right here, and good old Kratos down here now, because he used to be next to me, but now he's below.
All right.
But when we have our guest is going to be on the bottom right now. So we're going to have 4 screens come up to y'all. We want to thank y'all for tuning into the Reef Podcast. This is Louis IPA signing off. Have a good day, everybody.
Be safe, everybody.
As always, today's episode of the Reef Podcast was streamed live on Twitch. If you could not make it to the live stream of the podcast, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. Thanks for listening. See you next time.